You have this, in 1983, these six professional revolutionaries, Marxists, Leninists, Guevarists, that came. And they tried to preach in the communities, and the people did not listen to them. And then they started to listen after 1 year of stubbornly teaching the people how to organize the revolution. They started to listen. Then this dialogue that implied they confess our whole ideology collapsed in that moment. But at the same time, it was not the traditional way of seeing the things. It is this dialogue that created something new, this openness that creates something new. I think this also happened in the case of women. Of course, the women participate in the whole thing from the very beginning. We don't have any official figure, but they tell us that when they created the army, they say they are not a guerrilla, they are not a fish that swim in the sea of the people, because they are the sea, because it was the community decision in the small assemblies that say we need to declare the war to the Mexican government, and then we will commission a group of people to be part of to get military training at the beginning. Well, we know that in these people, that many of them, most of them were voluntary, and many of them were women that wanted to be part of the Zapatista army. And apparently you have the very exceptional case in which the women represent 40% of the Zapatista army, but they occupy 60% of the position of command, meaning that they are overrepresented. And then from the very beginning you see a very active representation of the women. And a position of command in the army is not something given by someone. It's something that you earn in the training, meaning that the women did better than men to occupy these positions of command. What I am seeing today in many cases in Oaxaca, out of the Zapatistas, is what we call here the feminization of politics, and it is when the women take the lead of social change. I would say two things about this. First is when you have in one place the combination of traditional patriarchal domination and modern sexist oppression, that is like hell. The combination of the two, it is really unbearable. And then many women are reacting to that combination, that compounded oppression, and that they need to do something. But there is something else. Historically, repeatedly in history, when we men are destroying everything, destroying the planet, Mother Earth, and we are destroying the family, the child, the nation, the social fabric, there is a moment in which the women say, basta, enough, we cannot accept this any longer. And then they rise, and then they begin to do something to protect, to care for the people that has been historically the main function of women. We need the words to express this, because patriarchy, reformulated matriarchy, saying that matriarchy is like patriarchy but with women at the top. And that is not matriarchy, that was not historically matriarchy. The whole thing starts with this attitude in which the women are caring not only for the babies, for the children, but for the whole family. If even in a modern setting you organize a picnic, you can see that you go to the picnic and you see the father and the big boy running to be the first to reach the top of the hill. They are running, they are winning in the race. And you see the mother or the grandmother in the back taking care of, as the Zapatistas say, walking at the pace of the slowest. You have a small child that cannot run, and the women are taking care of them. Then the women have this peculiar devotion, this special devotion that take care of the family, take care of the group. Well, I think that today this is what is happening, that many women, because of the oppression and because of the condition in which we have a planet really in a very critical condition, then they are rising and they are trying to create something different. And first of all, they are trying to stop the violence, all kind of violence, and to organize a different kind of world. This is very clear in the case of the Zapatistas, but I have seen this everywhere. If you allow me to tell just a short story, I was in a very, very big meeting of a fantastic cooperative, really very beautiful cooperative. This is an urban cooperative. And then in the big assembly, it was the annual assembly, one very big guy, a very macho guy, crossed the hall and took the mic, and he started to talk with the people. Compañeros, he said, we need to see what is happening in our organization. You go to the clinic, who is in charge? A woman. You go to the accounting department, who is in charge? A woman. You go to the engineering department, compañeros, engineering, and who is in charge? A woman. And who is in charge of the whole organization? A woman. And the worst compañeros, and his base, he was expressing real anguish. With the worst compañeros is that we are very happy with that. And that this was not a joke, it was his real concern. They were so happy that the men will never reclaim the power. And the question was, this is the point I am trying to make. The question was that the women in those positions of power did not understood the power as an opportunity to dominate and control, but to serve. That was why they were so happy with this condition. Then when the women take the lead in these conditions, not competing, not winning over men, but just because of the capacity to serve, the capacity to care, they can change the whole thing. And this is, I think, what I hope is happening everywhere. I think this is the moment for women.